Alright, so what I want to talk about today is your scratch portion of the final. I was working with Reem actually. She has some really cool ideas, and it just inspired me to address the whole class about what you're going to do with regards to your scratch solo. Some of you guys might decide to scratch throughout the entire 10 minutes, so you might throw a song, do some little sprinkles of baby scratches or stabs or transformers. That's fine. Others might be planning more of an orchestrated scratch solo, similar to what Cheyenne did in her final. Reem is working on that right now. I just want to talk about how to approach layering your scratches for the final. So what I want to watch now is my boy, my brother, one of my fucking favorite scratchers of all time. His name is D Styles. We're just gonna study this video and talk about his approach. And keep in mind, D Styles is arguably the best scratcher in the world. The debate is always who's better, him or Qbert. And we're just gonna watch D and keep in mind that like this guy is capable of a lot, but I feel he does a great job of serving the music, like doing what the music is asking him. The music meaning the beat he's scratching to and the sounds that he's working with. He's doing what the sources of sound that he's manipulating calls for. He's not going crazy, and he's capable of going nuts and like doing all kind of crazy scratches. So let's check out D Styles. Liv, if we can hit the lights. What scratches was he doing?
Like babies.
Baby scratches.
That sounds
He was doing fucking baby scratches. And that shit sounds so fucking dope.
Yeah.
Like, do you guys see now when I say you don't have to use the fader all the time?
Yeah.
Like, if you articulate the baby the right way, sometimes that's all you need is a baby scratch. And I'm emphasizing that because there are times where I look around the class and I see you guys practicing and everyone is just like just going nuts and trying to like scratch like super fast, and sometimes you don't need that. A baby could like serve the music that you're scratching to better than any complicated stab or transformer or what have you. So let's keep watching. What scratches are those? Let's watch again. Look very closely what he's doing with the fader and the record. Well, now he got a little complicated. Let's rewind a little.
It was like a
yes, he's doing forward releases. That's it. He's just releasing the sound, opening the fader, and then before he pulls back, he closes the fader. He just does it. You know, he's adding a lot of. He's doing maybe like 16th note releases. But all you guys learned that, like the first week of scratching. Again, serve the music. You don't have to go crazy with the fader all the time. Lights, please. Can you guys bring it up? No, not at all. Not at all.
I was trying to button up my shirt.
All right. So, in 2002, I released an album called Sound of It, and as you guys know, I'm Colombian, right? So I wanted to do a song that paid tribute to my heritage as a kid born to Colombian parents, and I recorded a song called Salsa Scratch, right? And
Finally.
I recorded a song called Salsa Scratch. I got you, dude. I got you.
That's definitely because of last night.
Yeah, hell yeah. We'll hug it out after this. We'll hug it out. Just turn this shit. All right, so I remember when I first started to compose the album, I knew I wanted to do one song that was scratch oriented. You know, this showcases what I do. Obviously, I love scratching. I don't know if you guys noticed the post that I threw up yesterday, like my top 5 scratch songs of all time. Like, I love scratching, and that's what I listen to or listen for when I'm listening to a lot of the hip hop songs that I grew up on, checking out on the radio and so on and so forth. So when I was working on Sound Event, I wanted to do a scratch song, but not just any scratch song. I wanted to do something that was different from what my contemporaries were doing. And the idea came to me to do a song that was oriented around salsa music, the kind of music that my parents would play at home when I was growing up, but with scratches, okay? And I even got my mom to come over to my house and do an introduction of the song. So we're gonna check it out, and then I'm gonna break down for you guys exactly what I'm doing. So,
Robert, todos los discos que usted ha hecho ha sido en scratch, pero en inglés. Me gustaría que usted hiciera un disco en scratch, pero en español. Sería muy importante que todos sepan que usted también hace música en español con sabor latino, en scratch.
up until that point was layered with scratches. Aside from the bass line being sampled, the shakers, the conga, the hey, it was all cuts. So what I'm trying to emphasize for you guys is, if you strategically articulate your scratches a certain way, you could literally like compose exactly, and fuse your scratches in a way that like everything makes sense, and one scratch helps another scratch sound better, right? And so I don't want you guys, when you're practicing, to just worry about and you're just going crazy, and like you don't have to. Like simple forward scratches, baby scratches, if you time them right, or if you execute them in the right spots, depending on the music that you're working with, it's all you need. All right? So now let's just listen to the rest of the song. I got my friend who plays trumpet, my boy Dave Guy on trumpet. On the hey scratches, it was D styles. Now what I want to do for you guys is actually break down how I composed the song. So, got my fingers dusty for Max last night and found all this, not the majority of the sounds that I use. Right? So here's the bass line. I sampled it from a salsa record. And then it stops, right? So I looped it at home, so I don't have to worry about doing that here. So here's the loop. Alright. Now, let's see, what do I have here? Here's the shaker. Right? Now, when you're scratching over a bass line that's being played in the spirit of salsa music, how are you going to scratch the shaker? Like, are you going to show off and do chirps and flares, or are you going to scratch the shaker the way someone would play the shaker, right? So depending on the sound that you're manipulating, you got to think like that instrument, or that musician, I should say. So in your case, Reem, you were, not to give it away, but you had some cool violin sounds, right? Yeah. So you want to think like a violin player when you're putting together your scratches, right? So when I started to compose a song, I was like, how would a shaker sound or being played over this bass line? So I could go and go crazy, or right? That's all you need. You don't need to go crazy. So I looped myself doing that. Then I wanted to keep building, so what other sounds do I have queued here? Alright, so let's just imagine that the shaker got looped and now it's playing underneath the bass line. Here's a conga, right? So now, again, I could go crazy, or manipulate the conga the way a conga player would play conga, right? So I gave it some. That's all it needs. 4 releases, right? Then finally, I hit up my boy D Styles. I was like, yo, D, I gotta get you on this song. The theme is I want to celebrate my Colombian heritage. He was like, I got you, Rob. Send me the file. Sent it to him, and then he came up with this. He used the haze, right? And D Styles, the fucking musician-minded DJ that he is capable of fucking it up. Like, he could have took that hay and did like all kind of crazy scratches, but he just listened to the bass line and followed it in the spirit that the bass line was played. All right? So he gave me some of this. song just keeps building and building and building and building. So the point there, guys, the moral of the story for you is to just do your best to kind of control that impulse to go nuts and serve the music you're scratching to. Also, be mindful of the music that you choose. Like, you see how like it's just a bass line? Mm-hmm. So being that it's just a bass line, it gives me room to add more shit. But if you're working on an instrumental or a song that's super noisy and convoluted, your scratches could get lost. So you want your scratches to stand out over the music that you're scratching to. So be mindful of that as well. All right? What's up, Faye? Before I let you guys get back to your stations, I want to present Max with the salsa scratch vibe. Sign. Here you go, Max. Love you, man. All right, guys. Have fun practicing.
You're like, oh God.
Max, you want to say anything?